Cahoy Well and Pump Service has been built around a family tradition of hard work and technical knowledge in drilling and servicing water wells. Today, Darren Cahoy provides well drilling services to municipal, commercial, and individual customers. However, Darren's ability to maximize his success was being limited by his lack of knowledge of the business. So Darren decided to bring in a team of business experts to show him how he could pump more profits out of the business with a professionally designed business plan to improve his overall operations. What are the insights you gained from the business analysis?
Tom, I've had 3 different consulting sessions over the last 9 or 10 years. And the first session that I had, I realized that I had a need to understand my true cost of doing business, my break-even point for labor rates and things like that. I felt as though I were operating a business in the year 2000 or 2001, and I was basing my labor rates and my bid numbers on 1970s way of doing things, which is how much is our competitor down the street charging per hour. I knew in the back of my mind that wasn't correct, and they were able to go through our books, look at our operations, and sure enough, that was one of the items that they brought to my attention. After 4 or 5 years then, I contacted the consulting firm team again and explained to them that I was looking at hiring a sales team to go out and promote our company, and I was wanting to continue to grow, and I needed some insight on how to compensate, how to motivate, and how to hold salespeople, especially living in remote areas, not working out of a central office, how to hold these sales representatives accountable for their time and their performance. And then the last session that I had completed last year, we had just purchased an environmental drilling company, and I was having cash flow issues, and I'd never had a good grasp or understanding of cash flow and cash management. And Ray, the analyst, came in and was able to explain to me in a down-to-earth way what cash flow is, how I can manage it, how I can improve it, and brought several good ideas to the table for me at that time.
Darren, how did our consultants help you improve your business operations?
Well, Tom, I think the most important thing that your consultants did to help me improve my business operations was to provide me with a great increased sense of confidence. And by that I mean what they provided me was the tools to understand my labor break-even, my overburden calculations, and what the true cost of doing business was, is one of the things. When you learn to trust the system and trust the numbers, it makes the decision-making process in business a lot easier at that point in time. The other things that they've accomplished for us in the past is the accountability factor. Everybody now is, with our reporting system and our structure, is accountable for their own billable time and their own productivity and production. And last but not least, they set us up with a great compensation structure and plan for our sales team that has drastically expanded our sales over the last 3 or 4 years for us. So in summary, confidence. Confidence in yourself makes decisions a lot easier.
How did our consultants help you improve the productivity of your employees?
The productivity improvement really kind of caught me off guard to begin with, because I was falsely under the assumption that everybody was as productive as they could possibly be. And we had no way of tracking the amount of billable time versus total time that they worked on an annual basis. So I was basing that assumption off just the brief few minutes that I would observe them in the field or in the shop. We implemented a program to hold the field crew people accountable for their time and their billable time. There was a little resistance to it at the beginning because they knew what their goals were, and if they weren't meeting it, then they didn't know if they were going to have a job the next day. But once they understood that that wasn't the case, it was just a mile marker per se, then it got to be a competition with them. And when they got back, got unloaded from one job and prepped for the next week for the next job, they're out the door. They weren't standing around smoking cigarettes or having a break, because it got to be a competition between them all, and it ended up working out very well in the end. The other part of the productivity was with our sales team. We implemented an incentive-based compensation program for them at this time, and it made them accountable again for all their sales and all their job and the vast majority of their income is based off work that they generate themselves and bring through the door and manage. So in a roundabout way, we were able to increase the productivity of both field crew people and our sales team all in one fell swoop.
Darren, how did you benefit from the financial reporting system our consultants put in place for you?
I benefited several ways with this, and it's kind of an interesting story. The financial reporting system, basically that they implemented or set up and that we implemented and followed through with, provides me with a series of dashboard reports every Tuesday morning. And as long as we have proper information going in to these reports, I receive proper information back. And within 30 minutes, I can tell exactly which project we had a problem on the previous week, which projects went very well, and it allows me to get in front of a potential problem with a project immediately rather than wait and let it compound and grow to be a larger problem. And so from that aspect, I think I really benefit from it for being able to react much quicker than waiting for an end of the month purchase and profit and loss statement and things of that nature.
How did our consultants help you grow your business?
Well, Tom, I kind of referred to this in an earlier question, but they really provided me with a lot of confidence to make the quality business decisions that need to be made. With me being able to rely on the reporting structure and the trend analysis and things of that nature, I'm able to more easily make the tougher and larger business decisions in a timely fashion. A successful businessman once told me years ago that you should walk when everyone else is running, run when everyone else is walking. As you're probably aware, the United States economy has been in a recession and a downtrend for the last 3 or 4 years, and a lot of our competitors and peers in our industry are either contracting or going out of business, and we've actually taken this opportunity to expand. And so I had the confidence, with the help of the consulting firm, to, in our numbers, in our trend analysis, to pull the trigger and make the decision to expand in a down economy.
Darren, what would you say to a business owner who's considering using our analytical and consulting services to improve his business?
Tom, I'd say I'd have several things to say to them. The first is, even if they think that they are operating at optimal margin and optimal profitability, I'll all but guarantee that they are not. I thought I was on top of my game, knew what was going on, didn't have a clue. And after I've been finished with my consulting sessions, I've increased productivity, I've increased my bottom line. Our business is growing even in the tough financial times and economic times that we're in now in this country. The other thing, as I said, I think there's about three rules that you need to think about and commit yourself to as a business owner prior to hiring the consultants and the analysts to come in. The first is, you can't view this as an expense, because it's not. It's truly an investment in your business and in the future viability of your business. The second is, the second rule would be that plan on, take it in baby steps. There'll be so much information thrown at you the first time around that it really bewildered me. And I think it's very important to have them follow up 8, 10, 12, 14 months after the first session, just to tidy some things up a little bit. And the third would be prepared to babysit your employees or the people that report to you. The implementation is easy, but if you don't stay on it right away, what I found is it starts to tail off, and then you have to come back and kind of reignite that flame to get them. And then once they get used to the reporting structures and the changes, it becomes second nature for them, and it's hands off and goes from there on its own.
Describe to me what your business was like before you brought in our team of business experts, and how it has changed for the better today.
The analogy I like to use is, prior to having the consulting team come in and do their work and implement their programs, looking back on it now, it was like driving a car at night without any headlights. It was just, by guess and by golly, and I was more in a reactionary decision-making stages all the time. We'd wait for something to happen and react to it, and I always felt like I was about a step or two behind everything. After we implemented the programs and the reporting and the accountability, our productivity went up. My weekly dashboard reports that I receive from my people allow me to keep a great handle or overview on the production of our shop people, our sales team, and our field crew people, I'm able to be more proactive by being able to address problems before they happen or before they get to be a huge issue or a huge problem and things of that nature. So it's really, again, providing me with a lot of confidence in my business making decisions, and looking forward, it's easier for me to trust the numbers and know what I can expect with seasonal trends and annual trends.